It's been a great achievement for labour rights and also for genuine social dialogue, the creation of the MLC. When you think about the formation of the ILO back in 1918, there was one industry that was beyond the reach of proper governance and regulation, and that was shipping. Now in a world dominated by international trade, the breaking down of regulation, the global financial crisis and the increasingly invasive negligence and corruption into every element of world business and trade, the MLC comes like a lighthouse and a beacon for the future. It is about social dialogue, it is about tripartism, governments, employers and unions sitting down, and it is genuinely about labour rights, minimum global labour rights that are enforceable. For many, many generations in the maritime industry, we had recommendations and we had conventions, but they were not enforceable. Now we've got a mechanism that makes people accountable, makes states accountable, makes flag states accountable, makes ports accountable, makes employers accountable to have decent working conditions, to have safe working conditions, to have working conditions that enshrine key principles of human dignity, freedom of association, rights to collective bargaining. This is an extraordinary thing and an optimistic thing. This is something that has been achieved through hard work, particularly by the ITF and the ITF affiliates. It has been carved out of the granite of opposition. It's been carved out of a laissez-faire approach to capitalism and world trade. It's a real tribute to everybody that's been involved in this, from the governments to those very important people at the ILO, the ITF and the international employers. Now what we have to do is make it work, and that's the journey to come. We'll be there, all hands on deck, and let's hold fast.
We in the ITF are so pleased that the Maritime Labour Convention is live, it's happening, we're ready. We have worked for 10 years tirelessly with ITF affiliates and other interested parties to bring this convention into full force. We are now ready to ensure that seafarers have minimum standards, guaranteed rights under this convention that will ensure a better quality of life, health and safety, good wages, medical conditions. This convention brings together a number of minimum standards to improve the life of seafarers, but it also improves in a number of areas, and we're delighted that it will now be fully enforced. We in the ITF, as we go forward, ITF affiliates, ITF inspectors, the London and the regional offices will be ensuring that we provide guidance and support to seafarers to fully utilise this convention and maximise the minimum standards this protects. As we go forward, we will be working much closely with the IMO, International Maritime Organisation, and the ILO, the International Labour Organisation, to monitor the implementation. This means we'll be communicating regularly with seafarers to give them guidance and reassurance. We've produced a number of materials which should help them work their way through this convention to ensure they are getting their rights, and also the methods of complaint if they're not. The first 12 months are crucial. How we deal with port state control and governments that haven't ratified the convention. We'll be communicate with them about the importance to have their national legislation in line, and we'll also be working with other interested parties for those governments that have been slow to implement, encouraging them, and when necessary taking steps to try and enforce the convention to highlight the benefits it provides for seafarers on ships. As we move forward, we will continue to gather and monitor information about how it's being enforced, and collecting that information to ensure that we're able to engage with the other parts of the industry, including the ship owners, to be clear that we can improve the convention as we go forward. But it is a vital time, and it's our opportunity as seafarers and union activists to become very involved in enforcing a global piece of legislation that should, over time, ensure that seafarers have a much better protected way of life. And so we in the ITF and the ITF affiliates will work tirelessly to ensure we maximise our opportunities under this convention to provide a better quality of life at sea.